Welcome to the Explainer. You know, if you're anything like me, your daily routine probably feels like this constant, exhausting sprint. Modern life basically demands that we move fast, think practically, and just constantly check off this endless rolling list of tasks. We wake up, we rush to work, we handle our business, and then we come home with our physical and mental batteries literally at zero, only to wake up and do it all over again the next day. It is so incredibly easy to lose our spark, right? To just get dragged down into prolonged stress in that kind of environment. So today, we're looking at a really fascinating, historically proven, yet surprisingly simple method to just hit the pause button and reclaim our joy.
Let's just be honest with ourselves for a second here. Are you trapped in that endless loop of work, sleep, and digital exhaustion? It's a cycle that leaves us feeling profoundly saturated, emotionally flat, and just burnt out. And when we reach that point of exhaustion, what do most of us actually do? We reach right for our phones. We try to rest our minds by scrolling, hoping to find some quick entertainment or, just a brief distraction. But as the research shows, that instinct is totally working against us. We're looking for an escape, but honestly, we're actually just trading physical fatigue for mental overload.
And this comparison we're looking at brilliantly illustrates the stark contrast between how we usually cope and what we really should be doing. On one hand, you see the reality of doom scrolling and excessive screen time. You might think you're resting on the couch, but your brain, it is taking in thousands of data points. Your mind gets way too full, your mood actually drops, and your exhaustion just compounds. Now, contrast that with DIY activities. By simply putting the phone down and using our hands, we achieve stable feelings, a refreshed mind, and an actively engaged body. It flips the script entirely. Instead of passively consuming content, you're actively creating it in the real world.
Okay, so the really crucial point here is that DIY isn't just about, making a cute birdhouse or fixing a leaky pipe. From a psychological standpoint, it's a highly effective tool for achieving mindfulness. And mindfulness is just that elusive psychological state of full presence in the current moment. When you're cutting paper or gluing pieces together or painting a surface, your brain is forced to focus on the immediate physical task right in front of you. You literally can't worry about tomorrow's big presentation or yesterday's awkward conversation when you're just trying to thread a needle or measure a piece of wood. It creates this personal sanctuary, allowing you to slow down and find peace in simple, deliberate actions.
And what's wild is that this ties directly into our actual brain chemistry. This isn't just about warm and fuzzy feelings, guys. It's about neurobiology. When you engage in a DIY project, you're creating a natural mood booster. Immersing yourself in a creative process actively increases the production of dopamine and serotonin in your brain. These are the absolutely crucial chemicals associated with happiness and satisfaction. As you lose yourself in the process of making something, all that mental baggage you've been carrying, it just slowly dissipates. That negative energy is quite literally, chemically replaced by curiosity, enthusiasm, and ultimately a really profound sense of pride in your own handiwork.
Now, what's really fascinating is the ripple effect DIY has across your entire life. Look at these hidden holistic benefits. First off, it teaches us patience and the acceptance of failure. You're going to measure wrong. You're going to use the wrong paint. But you learn that imperfection is perfectly okay. Second, it builds social connections. Whether you're crafting with your family or sharing your work in a community, it bridges gaps between people. Third, it provides essential self-care. Carving out time to create is a way of honoring yourself and saying, hey, my joy matters. And finally, it holds potential economic value. A lot of people start a hobby just to relieve stress and end up creating unique items that others actually want to buy.
Okay, let's dive into this. We know the psychology and the benefits, so here are 5 simple DIY ideas to start your digital detox.
Idea number 1, creative memory albums. Think about it for a second. How many thousands of photos are currently trapped on your smartphone, just sitting there without any real meaning? By physically printing them out and creating a memory album, you're breathing life back into those moments. Grabbing some colorful paper, writing little handwritten notes, and arranging stickers completely transforms a digital file into a tangible memory. It's incredibly joyful to intentionally sit down and physically recount the beautiful moments of your life rather than just mindlessly swiping past them on a glowing screen.
Moving on to number 2, upcycling old items. We all have things lying around that we just consider useless clutter. Empty glass bottles, old tin cans, maybe some cardboard boxes. But with a little bit of paint or some twine, that old glass bottle becomes an elegant flower vase. That empty can becomes a rustic pot for a houseplant. Upcycling teaches us to be wise with our resources. It helps keep the environment clean, and the sense of pride you get from transforming literal trash into a unique functional piece of art for your home, it's absolutely unmatched.
Our third idea brings a little bit of nature indoors, mini plant arrangements.
You can build a beautiful, simple terrarium using just a glass container, a little bit of soil, some pebbles, and tiny plants. The very act of arranging the soil and carefully placing the plants is a fantastic way to train your patience. And the best part? Once you're finished, you have a piece of living greenery to keep on your desk or right in your bedroom. Studies consistently show that having greenery in your immediate environment actively improves your daily mood and reduces ambient stress. It's a total win-win.
Number 4 is painting on small canvases. Now, let me stop you right there if you're thinking, but I don't know how to paint. That is exactly the point. This isn't for an art gallery, this is for your brain. Painting is a deeply satisfying way to express your feelings through colors and shapes. You do not need to be an expert to mix two colors together and just watch them swirl. The goal here is entirely about reducing stress by focusing purely on the enjoyable, tactile process of applying wet paint to a canvas. You just completely let go of the need for a perfect final masterpiece.
And finally, number 5, making simple accessories. Stringing beads to make personalized bracelets, necklaces, or even keychains. Now, this might sound like something from childhood, but the motor skills required to carefully select and string tiny beads require an immense amount of focus and precision. It essentially forces your brain to be incredibly present. Plus, you're rewarded with a completely unique, handmade accessory that showcases your personality, saves you money from buying expensive jewelry, and honestly instills a quiet sense of pride every single time you wear it.
Which brings us to a beautifully grounding philosophy that really underpins everything we've talked about today. The source material shares this wonderful Indonesian quote, "Kebahagiaan sering lahir dari perjalanan panjang, bukan hasil akhir." Translated, that means happiness is often born from the long journey, not the final result. In a world that constantly demands instant gratification, fast food, instant messages, same-day delivery, DIY is the ultimate antidote. It forces us to slow down, to feel the details, and to deeply appreciate the journey of creation itself. So, as we wrap up this explainer today, I want to leave you with one final thought to ponder. We've seen how stepping away from the screen and actually using your hands can reset your brain, boost your mood, and bring genuine mindfulness back into your fast-paced life. The only thing left to do is start. So, what will you build with your own hands today? Find some paper, grab some paint, or dig in some soil. Step away from all that digital noise and go create your own piece. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.